Perhaps you have seen some of these posters plastered on the walls around Florence. They're just pieces of paper with almost unintelligible words written on them. Just another example of Florentine graffiti, right? Not so much. These posters represent the manifesto of the Movement for the Emancipation of Poetry, or MEP. This underground collective aims to put poetry back in the forefront of Italian society.
What is the Movement for the Emancipation of Poetry?
I think the name says it all. We are poets who want to emancipate poetry. In Italy, poetry has lost importance as a form of art, and we think it deserves more attention. So, we're just poets that want to bring poetry back to the people.
How do you plan to basically go about emancipating poetry?
We want to try to emancipate poetry, so we have plastered poems on walls across the city. We drive around in our cars putting up poems. It is a central activity for us, even though it's technically illegal. We also experiment in other ways. We put poems in between the pages of books in public libraries. We hold events and collaborate with other artists. We do interviews with journalists for television, newspapers, and the radio. We use the internet to spread poetry, especially through social networks. We spread our message as much as we can, and anyone can get involved.
Is this a local movement? How far is your reach?
No, it's not a local movement. There's groups in the movement in other cities in Italy. Usually we try to only speak about our reality, the Italian reality of poetry and literature. So we don't want to have a movement that goes outside Italy's borders. The movement was born in Florence, but just now after 3 years it has spread to other places, other cities. They do the same things that we do here, and we communicate through our internet website. But these groups are completely independent. There's a big group in Milan, but also in other cities. There are others in Naples, Genoa, Bari, Viterbo, Taranto, and also now in Pisa. All volunteers are equal in MEP and are the authority of MEP. Everyone believes in the importance of liberating poetry and are pleased to participate in an experience that is not entirely legal with us. We do not say no to any of the poets. That is not our intention at MEP. We think that no one is qualified to say what poetry is and what it isn't. We accept all poems that are sent to us because it's important to bring people to read poetry, whether it's good or bad or well-liked or not. This has given us a bigger and bigger audience. Anyone can be involved in their own way. All we have in common is a passion, a desire to emancipate poetry. Thus, everyone who wants to join is welcome. We all have pseudonyms, like, for example, I am M01, he is F01.
You can find these posters all around Florence, and even on occasion on some of the bridges across town. Italy has had a history of poetic excellence since the Middle Ages, but this dropped off during World War II. So much so that poetry has seemed to be a forgotten art. The MEP wants to bring back the importance that poetry once held in the country, and until then, their posters will remain on the walls of Florence.